Hello, I'm Aiko, and I specialize in posting movie reviews. I would like to share a lot of movie reviews, thoughts, and questions. Oh, everyone, please subscribe to the channel. In this review, I will talk about the story without spoilers up to the middle. If you are concerned about the second half, please watch the movie and then listen to my story. This time we will be talking about an old Japanese movie called Happiness of Us Alone. The director is Zenzo Matsuyama. The cast was starring Hideko Takamine, a movie star at the time. The role of her husband is played by Keiju Kobayashi, Mitsuko Kuzubu, and Yuzo Koyama also appear. The story goes something like this. The main character, Akiko, is a deaf woman. In June 1945, Akiko, who was married to a temple, brought home the orphan child Akira, whom she had picked up during an air raid. However, since she was deaf, it was difficult for her to raise him, and her family had to send her to an institution. I will take you there. And Akiko's family also tells her to divorce her. Akiko returns to her parents' home where her mother lives. She attended a meeting at a school for the deaf and she met a man. He is also deaf, but the two are married. Then a child was born, but the deaf couple faced many difficulties in living and raising their child. This is the story. This movie was made in 1961. It has been 16 years since World War II ended. I thought the theme of this movie was the life of a deaf person. I think most healthy people are not aware that they are deaf. Therefore, this film depicts in detail the difficulties that being deaf faces at work, school, and home. On the other hand, even if you are deaf, your desire to seek happiness and your desire to cherish your family will not change. I just said something very ordinary. However, in the society that existed 65 years ago when this movie was made, the social position of deaf people was extremely weak, and I feel that the way people thought about deaf people was extremely unkind. In fact, considering that this movie was made in ancient times and that deaf people are suffering even more than today, I thought that this movie should be seen by as many people as possible. I thought it would be a great teaching material for elementary school, middle school, and high school students, especially if they had the opportunity to watch it in class. That's why I wanted to introduce this movie this time. The movie is really great. The most appealing thing about it is Hideko Takamine, who plays the lead role. Although she was in her late 30s at the time, she played a bright and cheerful character, very lively. She was a popular actress, so her beauty was also outstanding. In fact, the director, Zenzo Matsuyama, is her husband. I think it was Hideko Takamine's performance that made this work, which was her husband's first directorial work, Shine. Also, her partner, Keiju Kobayashi, played an indifferent deaf man and made this movie wonderful. He was also a big star at the time, so it's a must-see. I would like to express this movie in terms of scores. It's 90 points. This is a wonderful piece of work that should be seen more around the world. Now, from here on out, there will be spoilers. If you haven't seen this movie yet, please subscribe, like, and then close your browser or app. Has anyone seen this movie? It's such a masterpiece, but I think it's surprisingly little known. I got the impression that there were too many sad things going on. I had the impression that it contained all the misfortunes of deaf people. She was kicked out of the house where she married, and when she remarried and had a child, she died because she couldn't hear her cries, and the other child, who was born, grew up healthy but made fun of her deaf parents. It is called putting away. Furthermore, just when he thought things were getting better and he had hope, he died in a traffic accident while trying to cross the road. I wondered why he had to draw so many sad things. I felt that this was because there had never been a full-fledged movie depicting deaf people until now. I think that's why I thoroughly included the hardships faced by deaf people. After all, people who have seen the movie think that we must be kind to deaf people. I think the director made the content this harsh in order to make people feel that way. Still, I think the great thing about this movie is that it's never a dark or sad movie because of Hideko Takamine's beauty and brightness. What I thought was a little interesting was the way US military personnel appeared. While her husband is working as a shoe shiner, a military man suddenly comes and sticks out his feet. These soldiers don't care if the shoe shiner is deaf or not, and when they're done, they just leave the money behind and walk away. I don't portray this military man as a good or bad person. However, even if I could hear, I wouldn't be able to understand English, so I thought it would be good for military personnel whether they can hear or not, as long as they shine their shoes. Surprisingly, it was an unusual experience in the life of a deaf person to have people from other countries treat me equally without any discrimination, so I wondered if there was a scene like that. This movie also has a sequel. It seems to be a story about her husband, played by Kiju Kobayashi, and his son. However, I haven't seen this sequel. Sorry. Well, what do you think? Old Japanese movies are good because they have a literary quality in that they are calm and depict people properly. Are these old Japanese movies commonly seen in America and Europe? I would also like to know about the viewing situation for such Japanese movies. On this channel, we are looking for movies that you would like us to review. Please comment or contact us. I will continue to post movie reviews. Please subscribe to the channel. See you in the next work. The show must go on.